New York in the 1990s was a city of dreams and endless possibilities, where the streets pulsed with energy, and every corner promised a new adventure. It was here, amidst the hustle and bustle, that Ethan Carter, a young, ambitious journalist, wandered in search of inspiration. Ethan's career had been a series of highs and lows. He had a knack for finding the human element in every story but struggled to find his big break. On a crisp autumn afternoon, he found himself in Central Park, the heart of the city, hoping that the serene environment would spark a new idea. As Ethan strolled past the colorful foliage, his attention was drawn to a young woman seated on a bench, intensely focused on her sketchpad. Amelia Harper was lost in her world, capturing the essence of the park with swift, confident strokes. Her auburn hair cascaded over her shoulders, and her hazel eyes darted back and forth between her work and the scene before her. Ethan, intrigued by her dedication and the grace with which she worked, approached cautiously. "Excuse me," he said, clearing his throat. "Mind if I sit here?" Amelia looked up, slightly startled but smiled warmly. "Not at all. I'm just finishing up." Ethan sat down, glancing at her sketch. "You're really talented. Do you come here often to draw?" "Thank you," Amelia replied, a hint of a blush creeping up her cheeks. "Yes, whenever I can. This park has a way of inspiring me. I'm Ethan, by the way. I'm a journalist," he introduced himself. "Amelia," she said, extending her hand. "I'm an art student." Their conversation was initially filled with the typical small talk of strangers, but there was a spark, an undeniable connection that neither could ignore. They talked about their love for the city, their dreams, and their struggles. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the park, Ethan felt a sense of excitement he hadn't experienced in a long time. He had found not just a story, but a muse in Amelia. In the days that followed, Ethan couldn't shake the memory of his encounter with Amelia. Her passion for art and the way she saw the world intrigued him. As fate would have it, their paths crossed again at a quaint cafe in the West Village. Ethan was seated by the window, nursing a cup of coffee and jotting down notes for an article, when he noticed Amelia walk in. She spotted him almost immediately and waved. Ethan's heart skipped a beat as she approached his table. "Mind if I join you?" she asked, her eyes twinkling with recognition. "Please do," Ethan replied, gesturing to the empty seat. They picked up right where they left off, talking about everything from art and journalism to their favorite spots in the city. They discovered a shared love for New York's vibrant culture and an appreciation for its hidden gems. "I have to admit," Ethan said, "meeting you in the park the other day was the most interesting thing that's happened to me in a while." Amelia laughed. "I could say the same. It's nice to meet someone who sees the city the way I do." As they chatted, the cafe's cozy ambience wrapped around them like a warm blanket, making them feel as though they were the only two people in the world. By the time they parted ways, they had exchanged phone numbers and a promise to meet again. Ethan and Amelia's friendship blossomed over the next few weeks. They explored the city's hidden treasures together, art galleries, historical sites, and late-night diners where they had deep, meaningful conversations. Ethan found inspiration in Amelia's passion for art. Her sketches and paintings were filled with emotion and told stories of their own. Amelia, on the other hand, admired Ethan's dedication to journalism and his ability to find the human element in every story. One evening, after a visit to a small, tucked-away gallery in Soho, they found themselves sitting on a park bench, sharing a carton of Chinese takeout. "You know," Ethan said between bites, "I never thought I'd find someone who gets me the way you do." Amelia smiled, her eyes reflecting the twinkling city lights. "I feel the same way. It's like we were meant to meet." Their bond deepened with each passing day, and they found themselves looking forward to their time together. Though neither spoke of it openly, There was an unspoken understanding that their relationship was evolving into something more profound than friendship. On a chilly winter afternoon, Ethan and Amelia decided to visit the Metropolitan Museum of Art. They wandered through the vast halls, admiring the masterpieces that adorned the walls. As they stood before a painting by Van Gogh, their conversation took a more personal turn. "Do you ever wonder if you'll achieve everything you dream of?" Ethan asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "All the time," Amelia replied. "But I've learned that the journey is just as important as the destination." Ethan looked at her, his eyes searching for something in her expression. "What are you afraid of the most?" Amelia hesitated, then answered, "I'm afraid of failing, of not being good enough." Ethan reached out and gently took her hand. "You're more than good enough, Amelia. Your art is incredible, and your passion is inspiring." Amelia's eyes glistened with unshed tears. "Thank you, Ethan. That means a lot." In that moment, standing amidst the echoes of history and art, they both realized the depth of their feelings for each other. But the fear of losing their friendship kept them from voicing their emotions. Life continued, and with it came the inevitable challenges. Ethan faced a major setback when one of his articles was rejected by a prominent magazine. Frustrated and disheartened, he called Amelia, who immediately came to his apartment to console him. As they sat on his couch, Ethan poured out his frustrations. "I feel like I'm just spinning my wheels, Amelia. What if I never make it?" Amelia listened patiently, then said, "You're incredibly talented, Ethan. One rejection doesn't define your career. You'll bounce back, I know you will." Her words were a balm to his wounded spirit, and he felt a surge of gratitude for her unwavering support. In that moment, he realized how much he relied on her presence in his life. A few weeks later, it was Amelia's turn to face her fears. She had an upcoming art exhibit, and the pressure was getting to her. Ethan noticed her anxiety and decided to surprise her with a visit to her studio. He found her surrounded by canvases, her hands smudged with paint and her face etched with worry. "Hey," he said softly, "I thought you could use some company." Amelia looked up, her eyes filled with relief. "I'm so glad you're here." Ethan spent the evening with her, offering encouragement and helping her organize her work. By the time he left, Amelia felt a renewed sense of confidence, knowing that she had someone who believed in her. One rainy evening, as the city streets glistened under the downpour, Ethan invited Amelia over for dinner. They sat in his cozy apartment, the sound of raindrops tapping against the windows creating a soothing backdrop. After dinner, they settled on the couch with cups of hot chocolate. Ethan's heart pounded as he gathered the courage to speak. "Amelia, there's something I need to tell you." Amelia's eyes widened with curiosity. "What is it?" Ethan took a deep breath. "I have feelings for you, Amelia. More than just friendship. I didn't want to risk ruining what we have, but I can't keep it to myself anymore." Amelia's heart raced as she processed his words. "Ethan, I feel the same way. I've been afraid to say anything because I didn't want to lose you." Ethan's face lit up with relief and joy. "You have no idea how happy that makes me." They leaned in, their lips meeting in a tender, emotional kiss that sealed their confessions. In that moment, they knew that their love was something special, something worth fighting for. Ethan and Amelia's love story seemed like a dream come true. Ethan's career took off with a breakthrough story that gained national attention. Amelia's art exhibit was a resounding success, earning her accolades and new opportunities. However, their individual successes brought new challenges. Ethan's demanding job required long hours and frequent travel, while Amelia's art career meant late nights in the studio and gallery openings. The time they spent together became scarce, and the strain began to show. One evening, after a particularly grueling week, Ethan and Amelia sat in a small Italian restaurant, trying to enjoy a rare dinner date. But the conversation was stilted, and their minds were elsewhere. "I miss you," Amelia said softly, her eyes filled with longing. "It feels like we're drifting apart." Ethan reached across the table, taking her hand in his. "I miss you too. This isn't what I wanted for us." They both knew that their love was strong, but the pressures of their careers were testing their bond. Misunderstandings and minor conflicts arose, fueled by exhaustion and stress. As weeks turned into months, the distance between Ethan and Amelia grew. They struggled to find time for each other amidst their busy schedules. The once vibrant connection they shared seemed to fade, replaced by doubts and insecurities. Ethan's demanding job and Amelia's busy schedule created physical and emotional distance. Both struggled with insecurities and doubts about their future together. They questioned if their love could withstand the pressures of their ambitions. A period of separation ensued, where they focused on their careers. Ethan found himself missing Amelia's presence, her laughter, and the way she saw the world. Similarly, Amelia longed for Ethan's supportive words and the comfort of his embrace. Their hearts ached, and they realized how much they meant to each other. During this time, Ethan immersed himself in his work, producing some of his best articles. Yet, every success felt hollow without Amelia to share it with. He attended award ceremonies and press conferences, but his thoughts were always with her. Amelia, too, found herself pouring her emotions into her art. Her paintings became more expressive, capturing the essence of her longing and love. One day, as Ethan walked through Central Park, he stumbled upon the bench where he had first met Amelia. Memories of their initial encounter flooded back, and he felt a profound sense of loss. Determined to bridge the gap between them, he decided to reach out to her. Meanwhile, Amelia, in her studio, stared at a blank canvas, unable to find inspiration. She realized that her art was incomplete without Ethan. Gathering her courage, she decided to visit the cafe where they had reconnected, hoping to find him there. Fate intervened, and they both arrived at the cafe at the same time. Their eyes met, and in that moment, all their doubts and insecurities melted away. Without a word, they embraced, holding each other tightly as if afraid to let go. "I'm sorry," Ethan whispered. "I should have never let my work come between us." Amelia pulled back slightly, looking into his eyes. "And I'm sorry for not understanding the pressures you were under. We both made mistakes, but we can work through this together." They spent the rest of the evening talking, sharing their fears and dreams. They realized that their love was strong enough to overcome any obstacle. They promised to support each other, no matter what challenges came their way. In the following weeks, Ethan and Amelia found a new balance in their relationship. They made time for each other, no matter how busy their schedules were. They celebrated each other's successes and provided comfort during difficult times. Their love deepened, and they grew stronger as a couple. Ethan's career continued to flourish, and he received numerous accolades for his work. But he always made sure to prioritize his relationship with Amelia. Amelia's art gained recognition, and her exhibits were highly sought after. Yet, she never let her success overshadow her love for Ethan. One evening, as they walked hand in hand through Central Park, Ethan stopped and turned to Amelia. "You know, this park will always be special to me. It's where I found my muse and the love of my life." Amelia smiled, her eyes filled with affection. "And it's where I found my inspiration and the man who believes in me." Ethan reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. "Amelia, will you marry me?" Tears of joy streamed down Amelia's cheeks as she nodded. "Yes, Ethan, I will." Their love story, which had begun with a chance encounter in Central Park, had come full circle. They knew that their journey together would be filled with challenges, but they also knew that their love would guide them through. Ethan and Amelia's wedding was a beautiful, intimate affair, attended by their closest friends and family. They exchanged vows, promising to support and cherish each other for the rest of their lives. As they danced under the twinkling lights, they felt an overwhelming sense of happiness and contentment. Their love story continued to unfold, filled with moments of joy, laughter, and occasional hardships. They built a life together, creating a home filled with love and creativity. Ethan's articles and Amelia's paintings became reflections of their journey, capturing the essence of their shared experiences. Years passed, and Ethan and Amelia grew older, but their love remained as strong as ever. They supported each other through life's ups and downs, always finding solace in each other's presence. Their bond deepened with time, becoming a source of strength and inspiration. As they sat on their porch, watching the sunset over the city they loved, they reflected on their journey. They had faced numerous challenges, but their love had carried them through. They had built a life together, filled with memories and shared dreams. Ethan took Amelia's hand, his eyes filled with love. "Thank you for being my muse, my inspiration, and my love." Amelia smiled, her heart swelling with affection. "And thank you for believing in me, for supporting me, and for loving me." In that moment, they knew that their love was eternal, an unbreakable bond that would continue to inspire and guide them. They had found each other in the midst of the bustling city, and their love had flourished, creating a beautiful tapestry of shared dreams and cherished moments. Ethan and Amelia's love story was a testament to the power of love and the importance of finding someone who understands and supports you. Their journey was a reminder that love, when nurtured and cherished, can overcome any obstacle and create a lifetime of happiness. As they watched the stars twinkle above, they knew that their love would continue to shine, a beacon of hope and inspiration for all who knew them. Their story, which had begun with a chance encounter in Central Park, would live on, a timeless tale of love, perseverance, and the beauty of finding your soulmate. And so, they sat together, hand in hand, ready to face whatever the future held, knowing that their love would always be their guiding light.